Welcome back to Let's Play Victoria 2. And as far as the technology goes, since we are on August 23rd, 1869, and we kind of have this that unlocks soon. I don't think this actually unlocks until 18, until later than that. So, we're going to be looking at doing muzzleloader artillery before we start doing some of these things that unlock in 1870. But the logical thing to do would be to get just wait till 1870 to do one of these, because it's not that long and we'll save up our points for it. And then we will do the things that people told me to do, which is semi-automation and the iron muzzle artillery. Although we can select this and see when we'll be finished. April. I think that's fast enough that we can actually finish this quickly. So we'll do that, and then we'll do semi-automation, and then we'll do something else. Or we'll do, because it doesn't matter at that point, since we're not saving up any points. It's kind of 6-1, half dozen the other. As far as that goes. I do kind of want to invest in more military techs, such as this, but we can't do that until 1880. So, I'm just going to look through this real quick and see if there's anything that gives me more available sources of decreasing or increasing the decreasing the minimum life rating, and I don't think there is. So, I mean, sometimes you look at the inventions themselves. A lot of the things have been functionally moved to the inventions for purposes of balancing the game. And a lot of these just include, different modifiers. So it's not really clear if you aren't familiar with the mod what stuff will give what. So I just kind of have to look through things a little bit. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot that would cause me to do that. So, yeah, it's just pretty much machine guns, just like the normal game. That's the big step to colonizing Africa, is getting machine guns in a normal game. So let's take a look at our recruitment map mode. I can recruit quite a bit of troops. I probably should, since my target this time is Bengal, looks like, which was going to put us into direct conflict with the Turkish Caliphate. So, I don't think we have any infrastructure that we need to build. Oh, there. Yeah, that makes sense. Same diplomatic situation as always. We've got a truce with Sardinia-Piedmont because we ruffle stomped them, and that wears off in 2 years and we can snag what we want from them. What I want, actually, I don't actually care about the rest of it. I want Malta. I've been wanting Malta for such a long time that I will give up one of the other regions. I will give something to France or Occitania, or rather, I could probably just get my own deal since I will be leading the war. But I'm gonna get Malta. I will do it. You watch me. Region map mode. That is a clusterfuck. I shouldn't have done that. Our revolt risks are not too bad. I probably should have been doing this before. And this crap is just because of that India thing that was popping up, and we got some pretty bad stuff. But some of this is recently conquered. And then this stuff was because of some bad events. This, I don't remember why that's from. And this is probably is kind of the Transvaal area, which is nationalist and had that Ukrainian thing. But yeah, as you can see up here, nothing going in Europe, nothing going in the colonies in the New World, and nothing's going on in Australia. And surprisingly, nothing's going on over here, which are some of my more recent conquered provinces, mostly India, and that's surprising that in Sudan, Ethiopia is having the problems, and Sinai, but that's probably just some weird thing. I don't know. This is normal. This is relatively normal. Yeah, there's no real point in that. These are places where I have less administrative efficiency because I don't have enough duders there. This is lower, but then I have 100% in most places, except for the newly conquered places, or colonies or places that have high revolt risk. So, yeah, most of that's just fine. I don't really care about the economic effectiveness of recently conquered places. I lost more money than they'll ever make from doing it, so I don't really care. Colonial map mode, I don't think we can colonize anything in the near future. Until machine guns. Maybe some of these islands, as my naval reach goes up, but I actually don't think so. Yeah, this is actually in range, but look. Oh, that's not a colony. Apparently the Netherlands is colonizing something. It's in the Hawaiian Islands. Here. So this is the. I'm in range of that, yeah. So they'll get that, and there's nothing I can do about that. Nothing else. Africa is mostly Earthsphere anyway. I'm gonna get as much of Africa as we can. The war's going on right now. Rome is conquering the rest of Modena in Italy. Modena will probably be reduced to just being Corsica. But they may keep this stuff. Well, actually, no, they might lose Corsica and keep this because this is their capital. But I kind of expect Rome to take as much as they can from it. I don't think they're very high on the infamy because they've mostly been taking cores. Yeah, so we're the only one who's really accruing lots of infamy by taking a lot of quote-unquote ahistorical land. So, yeah, we are going to be building up to fight Bengal, which is going to take us a while. Now, we need to get 8 infamy. So that means we need to be below. See, if we took it now, we'd be at 26.1. So we need it. We need it to be 17 or lower, and I'd rather it be lower so that I could potentially do other things in the war. I'm probably going to have to fight the Turkish Caliphate in this, so I'm going to have to ship the majority of my troops over. Now, you might be thinking, well, if my truce with Sardinia Piedmont wears off in 2 years, aren't I going to want to attack them? Yes, that's true. So I'm going to be waiting to do this till after that happens, so I'm not worried about that. And by that time, all of my super ships should be done. Yeah, my ironclads are just now starting to come online. And it was kind of a mistake to get rid of all my ships at the time, but it was very good economically because once you start getting the techs for steam ships, sail ships become very expensive. So, and actually these are going to be quite expensive, but I have like 54 million pounds, so it's not really that big of a deal. And, you know, my taxes are all really, really, really low. It's not a big deal. My rich taxes are actually higher than my other people's taxes. But they're fine, I don't really care. And that is quite high, but I don't suppose there's really anything I can do about it that would not lower my industrial power or put people in places. Well, I can see if I can allocate to more profitable factories. See, now this is This is not doing much of anything. But that's low enough that I'll leave it. Horses. I can't. Can I just? I can close this factory. I'm gonna close that factory because I want horses to be profitable. Let's produce less horses, basically. That's what we're gonna do. I believe I built those factories myself, so. That's not good. So I want to basically have maybe 2 or even 1 stable. Cigarettes. So that it's split to some of the more profitable factories. Is it fertilizer? Fertilizer's crap, but I'll leave it open. I'm gonna close this because you can use the workers elsewhere. I'm basically just trying to find the factories that are unprofitable and reduce the amount of them as much as I can. It looks like it's mostly horses. This would require another factory. So I'm going to leave that one open. That one sucks. That one sucks. So, what's my least unprofitable horse place? Or the one in the... the progressives in power, just to get my bonuses back from these. It may knock us out of absolute monarchy, but that can be fixed. But I'm not trying to do it to change my government. Although HM government and democracies have a bonus for immigration to the colonies. As you can see now, ours is actually quite bad. So. It's unfortunately that we're unfortunate that we're stuck in this thing right now. I say stuck because you know, I don't know. It's my fault that we switched to this because I just kind of ignored the reactionary problem. So events or decisions, still working towards this. And somebody had a point that if I allowed Turkish Caliphate to take the rest of Delhi, which is here, that I could take it from them in one war. That is probably the best idea at this point, is just to wait until the Turkish Caliphate and then take it from them. And to just take the rest of Bengal in one war, which would give us the rest of it. So, yeah. But our priorities now are to focus on Sardinia, Piedmont, in particular delicious Malta, getting our navy back together, and just maintaining our country. But we're going to keep an eye on the Roman War and how Bohemia is going towards trying to form Germany, even though people keep, interfering with their war. Surprisingly, Russia hasn't. I would think Russia would be quite scared of uniting Germany, but apparently not. Look at their industrial power. That's ridiculous, and it's gonna be monstrous when Germany unifies. I am gonna be terrified of it. But in the end, it's not how many boosts you can make; it's how many boosts you can use. But it's still pretty scary. So I'll be back when something else happens. Well, that's quite a bit faster than I was expecting. I'm not sure what the deal is there. Maybe it just doesn't take the bonuses into account when in the screen. So, because of that, I actually am going to wait until the next tech to do something. Probably pick up organic chemistry. for the next tech. So I'm just going to wait until 1870. Pick up the tech, pick up semi-automation, and then see what else I can do. Since semi-automation was mentioned. So, yeah. So we have discovered quality assurance procedure. Basically gives us an efficiency test. So that's awesome. I guess I can't work on Asturias because Rome is like, no, it's not doing that. But Burma is now in the sphere of influence of Turkish Caliphate, which is unfortunate. So we're basically going to be fighting over Asia. We've discovered gyro-stabilized fire control, which gives us better attack on ships that we're not using. But yeah, it'll come in handy later. Okay, the first group of our ironclads is finished. I've added them to the European fleet. We've discovered both romanticist art and powered combine, which gives us good production output on grain and sugar. I don't know if we have sugar. We have some islands over here, so we probably have sugar over here. Tobacco. Sugar. Okay. Yeah, lots of sugar. Okay, so that's cool. Okay, so looks like Rome just got Venice from Modena. So, I still got cores here. So I expect we'll see a couple more wars. They don't have cores here, so they're probably not going to try to go for this. But you know, eventually they probably will. So whatever. I basically put them on things that had Italy cores. So I probably should have added one to Corsica, but that's fine. Aha! So we have a decision we can make. Whistle stop tour. Basically gain 28.75 prestige. All core static moves 1 militancy, and we get the effects. Don't get any effects. We just can't do it again until 79. The rulers of the nation have started to charter tour train rides all over the country, having a positive effect on the population of radiation. Pretty cool. Now we're gonna switch over to 1870, blow up some of our towns, and then switch to a new tech. And have our upper house rearranged. Oh no, socialists. Okay, so now that we have that, let's see what we can unlock. We have unlocked. Well, organic chemistry is the logical next choice. All of these are extremely powerful, but we have unlocked weapons platforms, which would be very good for our ironclads, and we still can't do any of this crap. So we're pretty much, aside from our artillery, pretty much on par with everyone else for that, except for this. We probably need this pretty badly, so, and this. Yeah, so we need those two techs to be on par with everyone war-wise. But we'll do organic chemistry and then semi-automation as I was directed to. And then probably steel railroads, actually. But I could put that off. And that will cause lots of clanky sounds. I hate that. But, yeah. When does our truce with Sardinia Piedmont wear off? 7th of May of next year. Okay, so we got an entire year of doing nothing to contend with. I guess I can start moving my troops from Egypt. I love how I can carry such huge armies in my ships. It's my steam transport. So let's see where I've got a good support limit. This this'll do. The ships. Ow. Damn you. There we go. Okay, so you go here. And no, we don't have any combat ships there, but you've got... We had one ironclad that was finished. You just hold shift if you're selecting boats. And you'll select all of the ships. So you can like merge them together. Stupid thing. So now it's got one ironclad with it. So I'm gonna go over here. And this should be entirely good troops. So that'll be the forefront of our elite armies. And then when we're finished over here, we should actually move this over to Caen or Brighton instead of where it is now. So I can pick up these troops and so we can fight a fight. Well, we'll probably be converging our armies fairly soon into the war. I mean, our front is much more converged than it was last time when we had to go all the way down to here to defend. So, yeah, we'll be pretty good. Well, this is kind of... Well, this was pretty expected, but kind of unexpected that they would do that. But, yeah, looks like Russia is going to be going after Scandinavia. Probably trying to capture Finland, I would expect. I couldn't think of anything else that they want to do, but, yeah. We'll see how that turns out. Northern Finland, as I thought, but Occitania has, has intervened in the war. I'm not sure that that's such a good idea for Occitania, but they seem to think that they can keep Russia from messing with Scandinavia. Well, on the other hand, I'm kind of thinking of Occitania as being the small country like it was at the beginning, but it's essentially, you know, proto-France right now. Let's look at the war. Actually, the advantage here is on their side, but only because of the large manpower advantage that Occitania gives to Scandinavia. In the end, it may just make it so that nobody gets anything out of the war. And essentially Scandinavia is becoming this battleground for these dead-end wars that everybody's, you know, kind of getting into. It's quite interesting. I've been starting to influence them to try to get in on that party, but so far nothing's really come out of it because I don't really have the influence from focusing on so many people at once. I probably don't need to focus on them anymore. And that's pointless. Pretty much everybody else is not going to be focused on, so... Yeah, let's just turn everything off but people that we're actually in conflict with, which is these people. And Scandinavia. And also these guys, because... I don't think that is, and we can't do anything there, so let's just minimize our problem with that. The good thing is we can now intervene with Awad, or how you pronounce that. You know, they get into a war, if the Turkish Caliphate decides they want that, we can intervene. But, as someone said, it's better that they get it at this point. So, yeah. We'll just, see how that turns out. Continue building and shuffling our ships. Well, hello Colombia. Declaring war on people again. How are you doing? Oh, and yeah, I keep forgetting that Occitania owns this big chunk of South America. I guess. Major discovery, 12-pounder. Basically increases our attack for our artillery and horse artillery. So that's good. Gives us better attack and defense flexibility, which we're going to need soon. Got a couple more destructions. Discoveries, June 1st. Got synchronized heavy support, which is good for our army's attack. Basically just more artillery. But it doesn't affect... Well, it does. It just affects everything. But the supplies consumption goes up, so we're losing a little bit more money. But on the plus side, mechanized plantations will have huge production bonuses, and only the plantation size for coffee goes down. At least that's what it looks like here. So that's great. Just gearing up for our wars, building some troops in England and stuff like that. Well, okay, we have an event, wave of colonial unrest. Yeah, it is unclear if there was perhaps something in the air that year. Some theorize that it might have been due to unusual solar activity. Others maintain it was nothing but a series of unfortunate coincidences. A convergence of catastrophes, if you will. But whatever had caused it, 1870 saw a wave of unrest spreading throughout the Celtic colonies like wildfire through a dry brushland. Wave of unrest shakes our colonies, and we must decide how to handle it. Concessions to the natives will come at the price of a serious loss of international face, but can we handle not giving in to them? We say we must remain calm, the situation will pass. For any province that is a colonial state, all plots will gain one militancy. We can make whatever concessions necessary to preserve the calm. We can lose 15 prestige, which in all honesty isn't that much. And any province that is a colonial state will lose 2 militancy for all pops. Well, we're nice guys, except for when it comes to education, so we'll do that. I'm consolidating all of my ships into Alexandria, all of my ironclads, and then I'm probably going to send this group over to Europe, since I don't think I'll actually need them over here. I still think the Turkish Caliphate's entirely landlocked, yeah, so literally nothing they can do. I'm wondering if when I actually do get in a war with the Turkish Caliphate, if I can call Rome in, if they will actually do that. We'll have to see. I think the fact that they don't border them might prevent them from doing that. But I've got good relations with everybody but the Turkish Caliphate, so I don't think anybody will intervene. Hopefully. But that's not the war we're building up to, so wait until we have that. Another major discovery, inventory planning, just some more factory output. This is a new event, life without parole. And then we have this little fellow. Started out with the proverbial pins and needles, and pretty soon he was on to robbing banks. He'll be spending the rest of his life here, so we keep him in chains most of the time. I suspect it will drive him insane in a few years, if it hasn't already. Imprisonment for life, without the possibility of parole, even though that's not spelled right, is not an uncommon punishment in the Celtic Empire. However, in certain liberal circles, there have been arguments on the nature of crime and punishment lately, with the opinion being advanced that a human being in chains is incapable of being swayed by the angels of his better nature, while being kept under miserable conditions. There's a growing movement for the liberalization of the prison laws, you can say. It can certainly be considered. All poor strata lose 0.5 militancy, and we lose 2 prestige. We can stick with it the old ways. All poor strata gain 0.5 militancy. We gain 2 prestige. Well, I don't know. Sure. That's fine. Whatever. Well, look who's number 1 again. I'm sure this is because I have 10 times their military power. Yeah. That's just ridiculous. Okay, we have discovered a cattle breeding program which increases our our production of all that stuff. That's good. I don't know why Luxembourg wants an alliance from us. I'm gonna decline. I fear there's something looming that's going to cause that. Maybe some kind of giant German war. We'll see.